I just make the craziest bet on myself in my life. Ciao, boys and from Kuala Lumpur. I greet you from my bed because I'm sick with Mr. Teddy Bear. And so, I want. I have a few thoughts I wanted to share. Because I think that my life now goes through this kind of before and after period, which is very strong, very emotional, very hard. Plus, one of my friends passed away, so it just adds on the emotional kind of intensity these days. And that's very interesting because at some point, the more sort of emotional capacity we have, the more we can bear. This includes also the capacity to bear other people's emotions. Somehow, it's proportional to more we grow, or that's at least my observation. Maybe it's also connected to the fact that emotions are just in the here and now, and they reflect our inner contact with ourselves. And yeah, I'm not sure if it starts with one or the other, right? It's just like chicken egg problem, but that's a very interesting observation. And it's also proportional to the amount of hate I can bear, and the more indeed like I grow. So like you cannot grow without without being hated. And here I will tell that I really get very unpleasant messages every day, and I don't care. So I just block the people. I mean, yeah. So that's, I believe that is part of just going out into the world and daring. And that's actually connected to what I want to talk about, because I can feel how my inner perception of self and interconnected with my self-esteem and self-worth, the treatment, kind of the way I am willing to be treated and not, my interest into people and into actually anything. So like it's just how it is changing. And also it's very connected to the amount of sort of, I would say, lack of brain fog and truly like self-awareness and awareness of being in the moment, and how I just like am, and now how I see how most people are just disconnected, how they're not present. And okay, so about the bet on myself, because it's like proportionally connected to everything that is happening in my life, I decided to leave Georgia 2 months ago. And because I understood that I was like okay with so little, just because that was the norm and it was still like above the norm. And so because the norm in the society is just so low, I was like, all right, like this sort of intellectual, I call it intellectual stimulation, is good enough. But it was not. And I understood that I want something more, and that it exists in the world. And so I want to go into the places which have higher concentration of it. It's I don't want to be superficial. It's just, this is how it is. I don't care, actually, honestly. So, and I made a little calculation on, so what are the kind of places where I can find something different. And overly, even in like say poor places, the good bet is to spend money on yourself in the first place, and to go to places where people spend money on themselves. And here I can hear the arguments of like, oh yeah, people go to fancy places to show off. No, not everyone. So yeah, sure. And so what? There will be 40% of people, even if there will be 40, 50, 60, whatever percent of people who show off, there will be the remaining who just want to be there because they want to treat themselves well and because they know that they're worthy of it. And so I don't care about those who show off. I care about those who know that they are worthy of spending their money on themselves. And so that's actually a very relevant filter on people. Because I believe that it reflects the maturity and that you're unwilling to keep in this sort of like suffering infantile position of like, yeah, you know, just like suffering, whatever. It's a chosen trait. But then I decided I want to go to the global market to seek people. And therefore self-actualization became the filter. And so what are some kind of places where people truly are self-actualized, where you cannot just happen to be, where you have to choose yourself to go? And so I understand I will go to Dubai for this. Not that I would love Dubai. I don't really love it. I like some other places. I like more genuine places. I like more nature. I really love nature. Or at least easy access to it. I really like KL now, honestly. Like, honestly, I really like it. Because of the combination of like city. It's so well built. I love to drive here. They're understandable, sort of predictable. Their English is terrible, but okay, whatever. But like I drive a scooter here and it's so good. It's just so good. But yeah, I haven't met the intellectual stimulation here. And I was at Token 2049 in Singapore, a big conference dedicated to blockchain. And there were some good people. I got to know a few hundreds of people in the last 2 weeks. And I would say the best people I talked to and I met, just like, you know, working on themselves on different levels, they are based in Dubai. They are based in Bali. And so I want to surround myself with them. That's it. It's this simple. And then again, I know, like, people are so fixed in their false beliefs. I'm so tired of it. But you can tell it's actually brilliant for me. So my standard is I work on myself on the physical level, on the beauty level. Now I'm sick and I don't have makeup. Okay, maybe I shouldn't shoot it like to look like this, but I don't care. Like, so will you not like me because I don't have makeup, right? Okay, whatever. Go, please unfollow me. I work on my brains. I write philosophy. I'm 29. That's an asset, you know. I build a country. I write a book. I will return to that. And I aim to publish it this year. About broadening individual freedom. I initiated a space program. I do crazy things. I think outside of the box. I question the status quo. I am more on this opportunist level of like doing things differently. I'm not very, how to say, you know, I'm open-minded, but I'm conservative at the same time, like when it comes to family and stuff. And I work out when I'm not sick. I eat well. I care about my health. I want to be here for long. I care about my beauty and health and state and so on. I have friends. I have hobbies. I'm self-actualized. You know, I wake up in the morning and I enjoy it. And why I say all these things, because that's kind of baseline for me. And then when someone comes to me and they're like, wow, your lipstick and your red high heels match, and I love it. I'm like, man, that's the standard. And he's like, a high standard. I'm like, what? So that's a norm to me, right? And it's a very beneficial because it's very easy to stand out in most places on earth. And that's exactly why I don't want to be there. So I can be in this beneficial position, which is like it's comfortable. It's very easy to become the best in a small country. It's very easy to stand out there. It's very easy to just do anything. If you're just like basic kind of ambitious. And I can see I migrated once to Georgia, right? And I tried to observe different markets, say, around the world. And the recipe is always the same. I know that there are people who will be like, oh yeah, but this market is different. No, man. Like, it's just, yeah, you have to understand certain nuances, but it's easy, honestly. And that's interesting. So, like, I mean, there's certain recipe which stays the same to just become one of the, say, like really known people, kind of. It's very easy. And then it's a question whether you consider it an asset. I think it's an asset. And then you can multiply this globally. And that's sort of an easy game when you sort of feel like in control, and the same you can apply in relationships. Because when you become like above average, you can be with anyone. I mean, I literally can feel how I enter the rooms, and I could choose, and I'm not interested. Like, I mean, that's another question of like whether you want to play the game of you want to chase someone, or if you want to actually be with someone just out of love and voluntarily, when both people just want to be together out of mutual interest. That's it. And that's exactly what I want. So I don't care about playing some games, and I don't care about, I want to be in control. Yeah, you can do it. I could be literally with like so many people, and then I'm just like, I don't want to. I just really want to choose a good person, right? And so that's the capacity to also refuse the benefit of today for something that you want in the long term. And to me, that matters. That's it. It doesn't mean I cannot have fun. I can have fun. I can have fun as much as I want, but like it still has to, I wake up in the morning with myself, and that matters to me a lot. So I want to be consistent with myself in the first place, and then comes everything else. I shot a video about self-integrity, last one, you can check it out. And so yeah, I made a bet on myself that I'm leaving Georgia, and I left to Vietnam, and Vietnam was good. For me, for my soul, it was not good for socializing. It was not good for, places are good always for something, but like not for everything. I went to Singapore. I went to KL now, and then we go to Dubai with my colleague. I will make a little trip to Oman with my friend, but I will be in Dubai for some time, and then I go to Argentina to speak at one conference. And I literally made a bet on myself. I don't know where I go. Nothing is for granted. No one grants you anything. I don't know whether it will be successful. I don't know whether I can make it, whether I will have enough money for it, whether I will meet my kind of people. I don't know whether I will have enough courage to meet them. I don't know if I will, organize the events where I can meet them. Maybe I will not attend the right places. Maybe I will not make it. Maybe whatever. I have always a place to go. I can always return to Georgia. Technically, I could return to Czechia, but I will never do that. I don't really feel like that place to be my home, where I would like to return, where I would feel safe. But Georgia is. And I want to share this with you because I have to admit that I'm frightened. It is frightening. It is super scary. No one guarantees me anything. I am hated. I am loved at the same time. The bigger the sun, the bigger the shadow. I can see myself very imperfect, and at the same time, I totally value myself more and more. And I want to tell you that it's scary. I don't know if I can make it. At the same time, I can see the opportunities, and I know that it's totally worth it. And I don't rely just on myself. I'm really grateful to all the people I have around myself, and I can share my worries with. And I really treasure it more and more because the amount of such people increases. And these kind of people, we are not connected through monetary kind of benefit, but because we want to. And that's, to me, the reflection of my values and of freedom, of voluntary connection, and of being together because we want to. And I treasure this. And I wish you the same. And I wanted to wish you the courage to go and make a bet on yourself. This bet is so scary, and just to go anywhere you want to. Yeah, and please don't be normal because the norm is so low. I'll see you around.